Okay, so inventions, that's the subject I want to speak about today. I don't often cover science type subjects or technology subjects, but I thought this would be a little bit different and will get people thinking. Quite simply, what do you think is the greatest invention by humankind? What do you think is the greatest device or object invented by people? Um, I honestly don't have a single choice. I think that there are things that we often take for granted, especially in developed countries, that are enormously useful but don't seem that exciting on the surface. An example is flushing water. I had a bit of diarrhea recently. Without going into details, it wasn't very pleasant. And, just something as simple as flushing water that we take for granted is a remarkable invention, simple yet remarkable. Um, I don't live very far from Edinburgh in Scotland, about an hour and a half by train. And Edinburgh's produced some great inventors, including Alexander Graham Bell, who invented the telephone, James Logie Baird, who invented the television, both from Edinburgh. Um, there has been many, many inventions that has changed the way we view the world. Certainly, I think computer technology would have to be very high up there. With how much we're using digital technology these days, I think that is very, very high up there. Um, So, yeah, that's my question. What do people think is the greatest invention? I'm just throwing out a few ideas here to kind of get people thinking. The DVD player, something like that, I think is obviously useful for entertainment, but it's not really life saving. It's not something we absolutely need. Well, of course, we do if we want to watch DVDs, but there's inventions that are really make life easier in a way that's we don't always appreciate. Electricity would be another one. Flushing toilets. Electricity is an incredible thing. Um, you know, we have to think of everything in the context of the days before we had it in order to put it into context. And then I think we appreciate it a bit more, especially bearing in mind there's parts of the world that, due to war or the fact they're a developing economy, still don't have some basic things that we do take for granted in developed countries. Um, Anything to do with cooking is obviously useful. Microwaves, ovens, fridges, bed, basic bed. May seem very simple, but the modern bed as we see it today, just bed, comfortable bed. It's probably derived from older pipe structures, but it's a very basic but necessary invention. Um, what else? Trains, planes has to be very high up there. I mean, the very concept of traveling from one continent to another in a few hours is quite incredible. So planes, I think, would definitely be among the top 10 inventions. Um, Inventors themselves are incredible people, and they sometimes, of course, there's controversies as to who invented this first. Anyway, it's an interesting subject. I'll leave it there. What do you think is the best invention and why? So don't just tell me what you think is the best invention, but why? Gunpowder, I forgot to mention that anything to do with war, gunpowder. Ammunition is obviously used for wartime. Computers for gaining knowledge. So many things that can be named, but I've just thrown a few ideas out there, and I'm sure I'm overlooking many things. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you.